Well, hi guys. Welcome to my new improved methodology of recording stuff. I'm just putting in my card now. I'm kind of... Now for people who've been following me for a while, as you know, I had previous vlogs. But the thing is, I was new. And I didn't really have the mounts that I have now, so a lot of the images were iffy and shaky and all kinds of horrible stuff. And so what I did was, once I got the mounts, let me just do that, once I got the mounts correct, I then just got rid of all my original stuff and carried on with the new stuff. Just putting in my bits and bobs. There we go. Right, got my paperwork to do now. And my original stuff, for those who haven't been following me for very long, always used to start off with me doing my paperwork, that's right, like I am now, and then bit of forward facing footage, then me at my destination, bit more forward facing footage, then me at my next destination or on my break, and then it was kind of the end of the day. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going back to that methodology. That's basically what I'm going to test out. Some of you, if you're new to my channel, may be wanting to go back and look at all the vlogs from number 1 all the way to now, which 50, 58, this will be 59, won't it? You will notice that 1 to 17 has disappeared. Well, the thing is, there's a little editing oopsie-daisy in those ones. It's my fault. Hold my hand up. And what I've done, after various conversations, is removed them. I've well, privatised them, so you can't see them. They're off. You won't find them. And I'm going to try to edit out the oopsie-daisies and then make them public again. Now that will probably take a couple of weeks, for the simple fact that it is 1 to 17, and that this week I'm only supposed to have 1 day off. Kill that. So please bear with me on that one. They will be going back up, but it will be more once I've edited out the oopsie-daisy. Because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, we all miss certain things, and I miss something. So I am going to correct that issue. What's the date today? Oh yeah. Lovely jubbly. And that's load numero that. I'm off to Cambridge and then Wellingborough. So you can guess what the forward facing footage is going to be. Now obviously in this one it's going to be sped up, bit of music over it. You know, my camera's going to be just left recording whatever. So I won't be interacting in any way with it. I'll just fill that in. So let's see how I get on with my new original method. It's going to make things easier, because one thing with my channels I was noticing was the fact that the video length was growing and growing and growing and growing, and I was waffling more and more and more and more. You know, because obviously once I got the setup that I've got at the moment, I'm just going to clean my windshield before I move. Once I got the setup I have at the moment, it was easy to, the cameras are stable. So it was easy for me to be driving and chatting and da 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 da, and of course it just starts expanding and expanding and expanding and going and going. Going back to the original method means chances are I'm going to end up with about 15 to 20 minute vlogs, which is going to make my life a lot easier. Now, as you know, I can be a bit of a waffler, as you can see. I can also kind of... I'm a very political person, motivated. I like to be kind of philosophical as well, if that, you know, philosophical and political and that kind of stuff. But I like to remain neutral. So what I've decided is I might open up a third channel now, because I know some people watch me for this, some people watch me for tips and tricks, and some people just watch me for me, bizarrely enough. But thank you however you decide to watch me. So I will most likely open up a third channel, and that will be my thought processes, you know, but when I'm in my car. So either driving to work or on my days off. So I'm going to completely separate my entire YouTube now, so that if, for example, I'm no longer allowed to do this even with my new methodology, nobody's filled this up. Oh. Even if I'm not allowed to do this anymore with my new methodology, I'm still going to be making content. It will just be no truck driving stuff. I know I will lose a fantastic number of subscribers doing that, but such is life. But anyway, that's what I'm planning on doing. This is my new methodology. Welcome to my day. I better go fill this up, find my trailer, and crack on. Right, well, that's that load unloaded. Job's a good one. Did you recognise the streets we were going down? Yeah, well, it's kind of a tradition now, isn't it? At least once a week you see that footage, so I thought I'd bung that in there. Right, so, fill in my little blue book of the times it's taken. Get this done, and then bugger off to Wellingborough. I might stop for my break on the way to Wellingborough, actually, I don't know. I can make it to Wellingborough, can't I? I've got to wait for that to wake up. That's the thing with these Digi tacos. If your engine's been shut off for a while, or your electrics have been shut off, whatever, they go to sleep. And if you want to know how long you've been somewhere so you can fill in, well, obviously I've got to fill in the actual paperwork, but I fill in my little blue book. I have to wait for it to wake up. So in that time, I can do a little bit to camera. Yay. But yeah, so, oh come on, wake up. So yes, I've done the delivery, it's all jobs good 'un. Yes. I've seen a few messages put on the most recent upload, you know, the channel update thing, the outpouring of support, so thank you kindly. For those who are saying, oh well, you know, if you can't do the tracking one, do other things, yeah, the trucking one will disappear. I didn't really make that too clear in the last one. I understand that. My bad. The trucking one will disappear. That one will be taken down, but I will find other things to do. Aha, there we go. Hour and 3. Okay. So I will find other things to do. The thing is, for example, I can still do a daily one. That's that done. I shall be leaving in a second. That's I'll still do a daily one. For example, I could record myself going to work, coming home from work. And for anybody who's curious, when you're on your break, a break is a period of time where the driver can do whatever he or she wants to do that is not work. Okay, so I can't be driving, obviously, and I can't be helping unload or doing any paperwork or anything like that. Anything to do with work cannot be classed as break. Anything else, ergo if I wanted to do something to my personal YouTube channel, I could technically do that. So that's neither here nor there. A period of break is a period of time where the driver, he or she, can do whatever they choose as long as it's legal. So you can't go and get a few bevies inside you and carry on, obviously. You can't go and wake yourself back up again, obviously. But you can do pretty much anything else you wish to do whilst not, you know, driving or working or paperwork. So there you go. That hopefully clears that one up for people who said, oh yeah, but what about such and such? Well, there you go. So I can still technically do a daily vlog, you know, thoughts as I go to work, maybe thoughts as I come home if it's light enough, things like that, because that's my own personal thing. You know, I'm not affecting the company in any way, shape or form if the worst happens when I'm driving my car. So I can still do stuff like that, but I'll find things to do. And if I do want to do kind of a Sunday drive style, you know, thoughts as I'm driving along in my car, well, I can't use my works car, can I? Because it's for work. It does a lot of mileage. It's nearly 10,000 miles at the moment since I've had it. Gives me an excuse to get another car. I'm going to have to get another car, aren't I? I have to buy another car if I want to do that. I can't help it. Got to buy another car. But anyway, I'm going to crack on. And I shall see you at my next destination. There won't be any more forward facing because there's already been enough. I shall see you at my next destination. Lovely. Right. Just put it on brake. Kill the electrics because I know that sometimes develops a little squeal in the background. But I've made it to my destination. And I've checked in all my windows. You can't see any logos anywhere, so I've left the curtains open. Oh, I've got an itchy nose again. What is it with my nose? But anyway, one thing I would like to say here and now is I'm touched by the responses I've been getting under the channel update video. And, you know, it means a lot that there's a lot of people who want to support me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. However, to anybody who wishes to send a message to management, they've shown me such a level of respect. It's unreal. I mean, the only messages you should be sending to them are, you guys are genius. Literally, that's the only thing you should be sending to them. You know, don't goad them, don't try and make a point. You know, they're allowing an agency guy. Please try to understand. If you've never been agency, you don't understand the 0 hours thing. You know, I don't have workers' rights in the way that you do. Okay, there is no taking you to one side and warning you and giving you a written warning, or there is no unfair dismissal and all that kind of stuff. None of that. No. It's, I don't go back. I don't know why. So, as far as I'm concerned, the management of the company I'm rolling for, primarily, legendary, absolutely legendary. And if anybody wants to send them a message, that's what you should be sending. Okay, so I understand people are in support of me, and you know there is a certain level of love towards me from some of you guys and girls. Thank you. It means a heck of a lot to me. It really has touched me. But please understand, the management are absolute legends as far as I'm concerned. To be fair, you do not know what was said in the meeting. I have not told you what was said in the meeting. Okay, I haven't voiced that. What I tried to do in the last one was explain potential legal issues with doing this kind of thing for anybody else who might want to do this. And obviously explain the fact that my channel is going to change. But I did not say anything or mention anything that was said in that meeting. So there is no real reaction you can accurately give to management because you don't know what was said, if you see what I mean. So to anybody who has, I will always give you, because I understand why. Okay, I do understand why. I will give you the opportunity of removing that. You know, you know, I said about if you name the company below, I will remove you and remove the comment. Well, obviously. But if you're going to try and goad the company, that is almost guaranteed to get my channel stopped. And it is potentially guaranteed to lose me my job. So I will give you the opportunity, anybody who has thought about doing it or has done it, to remove it. And I'll let you know I've given you the opportunity to remove it. But if you don't, you're gone. Because this is my life, this is my income. I have been shown nothing but respect. So if anybody wants to send management anything, then just go, wow, you know, you guys are amazing, have you got any jobs, that kind of thing, because that's what they deserve. Now, that's that bit done. I can now have my coffee. Well, I say coffee. Warm and wet and brown. Tastes like coffee. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. As you can probably tell, I am in an Actros. But I'm in the big Actros today, not the bastard one that I fell out of last night. Anybody who's following me on Twitter would have seen that. If you haven't been following me on Twitter, because I must remember most of you don't follow me on Twitter. So there are sometimes I forget that, you know, I put something on Twitter I think most of you know. But obviously most of you don't follow me. You might not have Twitter. But yes, yesterday I got back. I stopped it's a smaller cab Actros. There's two main types. There's these ones, which are the big sods. And then you've got the ones that are replacing the Axors as the retail unit, so they're smaller cab. You've got an engine cover in here instead of a flat floor. And the cabs are slightly thinner. They start as wide, and then they kind of taper up a little bit, and they're slightly thinner. There is a design flaw with that. Door mirrors have to make up the difference. They have to go out further. Right now on these ones, they're quite close. But on the smaller ones, because obviously the cab tapers in, they have to be extended. The issue with that is exactly the same issue with bleating Volvo FMs. And that is when you go to clear your windshield, you know, do the squirty, woof, all over the door mirror. Can't see a thing. Because they've been extended out, and of course there's no protection there. When they're close, you can clean that all day long, the mirror doesn't get anything on it. Maybe the odd little splatter here and there. But on the extended ones, and that is a major design flaw. Because it's the same with the Volvo FMs. I don't know about the DAF CFs, I can't remember off the top of my head. Have no clue about Iveco, never driven them, thank the Lord. But that's a design flaw. Because you're cleaning your window, lovely jubbly, yep, lovely and clean. You go to check whether there's a car that I can't see crap in that mirror. It bugs me. It bugs me. But anyway, the cab tapers in. So with the tall Actros, I open the door and it's a sheer drop, boom, straight down. So you put your foot and you go in and you climb down, stuff like that. Well, with the tapered in ones, there's a step cut in, so you can put your foot on that step and turn around and go down. Everything, I'm in an Actros. I know I'm in an Actros. I can see I'm in an Actros. You can compare this with the footage from yesterday in the smaller cab Actros, and you tell me what the difference is. Other than this one's been ripped. And so I open the door at the end of my day. I've been in and out of that cab all day long. I open the door, put my foot out, boom, straight on my rear end. I was, ouch. I was not a happy little bunny. I fell right arse over tit, straight out of the cab. You give me one of these tall ones, I don't fall out of it. You give me a short one, right on my arse. Now, thankfully, I was in the smaller one. If I'd have done that same barrel roll out of this one, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. I would be in traction. It's quite a long way down. But yeah, that was an interesting little journey I did at the end of that one. But I'd like to do a little review, if I may, between Dinky Actros and the fleet spec Dinky Actros for retail work, and obviously these kind of ones. Now, this one isn't the exact one you would live in. It's pretty close, but there's a few differences, you know, like it doesn't, these aren't your chill, these aren't your fridges and stuff like that, they're just storage. These ones are set out a certain way, and they have a proper horn. They have a proper horn. Okay, obviously it's through that, but it's a proper air horn. And you've got a button up here to turn it from car horn to air horn. The smaller ones do not have that. I don't know why. The Axors never had them. You've just got this pathetic little car horn. Look at what you're driving. You know, it's not good enough. Because sometimes you might have to hit that when another truck driver, 50-something feet away from you with his radio blasting, is moving in too soon. So you use that horn to go, oi, no, what, you know. But all we've got in the Axors, and now obviously from what I have driven of the dinky little fleet spec, 2543. I know Tesco's use a 2540. Actros, is you've only got a car horn. Ooh, that's annoying. Ooh. Anyway, that's one little gripe. The other little gripe is obviously the door mirrors, as I've said. But then again, that's because the cab tapers in. If they were as close to the side of the cab as these ones are, I wouldn't see anything. So they have to strengthen them out. I'm unsure why they've tapered the cab in, though. It doesn't seem to make any sense. It's as wide, at the bottom, it is as wide as one of these, because it is an Actros. But they've tapered the cab in. I don't know why. It really makes no sense whatsoever. But whatever, it's their way of designing. Maybe it's something to do with aerodynamics or whatever. I don't know. But it seems pointless. But there we go. One thing I will say, directly to Mercedes, and I did tweet this at Mercedes Trucks. Increase the torque in them. Okay, now, I've only got the experience of the 43, the 430 horsepower. And I know Tesco's used the 400, the 40. Because I've been overtaken by a few of them. I know that they do a 2545 in the smaller one because Yodel used them. I've seen a few of those go past. Increase the torque. For the love of God, increase the torque. Because I'm driving along, 30 tonne. That's all I was yesterday. Around about 30 tonne. Literally all I was. Driving along, started going up a small incline. Now I hit the bottom of the incline at 50. By the time I got to the top of the incline, and it wasn't one of those ones, it was one of those ones, I was doing about 38. And before anybody says, well, why didn't you knock the gears down? I did. The bastard changed back up again. So there is a few little niggles with it. The other thing is, there's no bloody clock. There is, but the digital display on the dash gives you your exact speed. Okay, you've got a speedo, I know, but it shows you a digital speed. So I always leave it on that one, because all I have to do is just look down, I see the number, instead of trying to figure out, okay, that's kilometres, what's a mile an hour, what no. Instead of trying to do that, I just have to look down, there's a number, and carry on. It's a real great help. It is really useful. And of course, sometimes the old steering wheel, depending on where you have it, is in the way of the needle, and you don't want to take your eyes off the road for too long. But the thing is, in this Actros, on the dash, you've got two digital displays. One in the rev counter, one in the speedo, the tacho graph counter, because obviously there's a tacho in here, sorry, I've got to try and remember that, the speedo, rev counter. And it's the same dash, okay, it's the same layout in the smaller one, the fleet spec one, but it doesn't have the digital displays. Now the little radio they've got doesn't have a clock on it, so if you turn it off there's no clock. So the only way I can tell the time is if I go through the menu on that. Now remember, I've got working time directive. I've got to know what the time is. So I can get rid of the speed and have it on the time. Or I can have it on my driver's hours, which is what I use that for. I press back, because on the buttons you've got OK up, down, then you've got a back one. If you start rolling with most 1.4 Siemens tachos, once you start moving, if you press the back button, it stays on your driving hours. So I've got my speedo there in one of these. I've got my speedo there. I've got my mileage there and a clock and temperature and stuff like that. And all I have to do is look up and I can see my driving time. So everything is logical. But in the smaller one, I can either see all my driving time up there, or the clock and the mileage, because you've got to go through all the menus to find the bleeding mileage because there's no digital display. And I can, you know, I can have my speed, but then I've got to go over and up. If it goes over to the miles per gallon readout, up if it does that, so that I can see the time. Or I can see the time on there, but I don't know my driving hours unless I leave it on the driving hours. If I leave it on the driving hours, I've then got to try and figure out the exact speed I'm doing using the speedo as per normal, but the steering wheel could be in the way and whatever. So it's all kind of, why have you changed this? Why? It's an Actros. Just give it the same dash. It seems that they've squashed it. You've got the same dash, okay? You have the same dash. Except they've squashed the radio to a little slither instead of what this is. And they've removed some of the buttons from up here and put them down there, and swapped some of the buttons around down here along. But it's the same bloody dash. Why? One other bugbear. In here, in this thing down here, and I shall take a little photo of it. Hold on 1 second. I shall just take a little photo of it, and I shall put it in here. I shall move that a little bit, so as you can see, I'm going to try and get the paper, because I've got paperwork in there, so I'm going to try and hide the paperwork. All you'll see is a bit of orange. Ta-da! Right, there we go. Taking a photo, so you'll be seeing that now. That's a draw. You store your paperwork in it. You can probably see a little fleck of orange. That's part of the paperwork. Anyway, that drawer holds your paperwork, and underneath it you've got some space to put some maps or whatever you want. Perfect. Now obviously in the squashed one you're not going to have the same depth, so the space has been taken away. So's the bloody drawer. And because it's squashed in at the top, the entire peak where you saw my cup of coffee, or you can see my cup of coffee, is tiny. You can't put an A4 piece of paper on it, it goes, falls off of it. There's nowhere to stuff your paperwork except up in one of these. Please, Please, Mercedes, the Actros is a good vehicle. It's a great vehicle, but you've knackered it with a tiny cab. At least put a drawer back, or if you can't put a drawer in there for whatever reason, put a shelf in. Little tiny slither shelf for A4 paperwork to go in. Maybe thick enough for a map. Maybe thick enough for that and some paperwork. Please. Please. Because it's... These are good units. You don't... Just because you squash a cab doesn't mean you have to knacker the entire thing. And I know, it's fleet spec, and this isn't exactly fleet spec, this is kind of mid-spec. But come on, have some sense. We've got to put paperwork somewhere. I mean, imagine if a small haulier gives their guys nights out, gives them one of these small squished cab Mercs. Well, all of that stuff, because in these there's three. Now I can't take a photo up there because there's some company information up there. But there's three overhead compartments. Okay, 1, 2, 3. In the smaller one, it's one split into 3 segments. Now in this one I've got 2 storage bits. In the smaller one, I've got 1. So if you're living in it, that's all crammed with your stuff. You've got all your bits and bobs and food and God knows what in there, and wherever else you can stuff your clothes. So where are you putting the paperwork? We have paperwork for the load. Even small retail, it has paperwork. So please, please, put a little shelf in. Just big enough for an A4 road map. And a little bit of extra space for... Just that, please. And that's my little gripe. Because I love the Actros. It is my favourite truck of all the trucks I've driven. And don't get me wrong, that little one is great to drive. It's really planted. I know that sounds strange, but you can really give it you can really put it round a bend. It's planted. It's a good vehicle. It's very easy to manoeuvre. Gearbox is a bit... I think it's because it's a Euro 6, not a Euro 5, and one of the things they've done is changed how it changes gear. And the issue with that is, like I said, when I started going up the hill I knocked it down a gear, and then the bastard changed itself back to 12. Huh? No, go down a gear. I'm the driver, I know you need to have higher revs to get higher torque to get up this hill. And anyway, no, changed it back to 12. I'm 30 ton going up a hill in 12 with no torque. That was frustrating. And I used the A31 yesterday. I don't know whether anybody noticed a message on Twitter from Truck Cam UK. There was a scout bus caught fire on the A31. I was stuck in the traffic jam. I actually saw it all undercover on the back of a low loader being recovered as I went past. I was stuck in that tailback. For anybody who doesn't know the A31, there's parts of it that do that, and there's a little hill that literally does that, goes up onto a bend and carries on. But it goes down, dips, and then it goes up. Now I knew I was underpowered because of obviously how it was changing. So I left myself a little gap, and then I got the revs just to that sweet spot so as I could stay in about 3rd or 4th, because we weren't really moving very fast, and get up the hill. But that's how you drive, okay? That is how you drive. If you're not moving very fast, you get the sweet spot on your torque band, and that pulls you up the hill, everyone's happy, but you give yourself a bit of room, okay? It's just standard driving technique. Everybody should know it. The bastard thing changed up gear halfway up. It was like, no, what are you doing, no. Changing gear, dude. Oh, it wouldn't even let me sit on the sweet spot to pull itself up the hill. Why did you do that? Why? These are great. These units are genius. Why did you do it when you shrunk the cab? All you had to do was squash the cab a bit. That's it. Why? Why did you knacker them? I don't know what the Tesco ones are like, but they're a 400 horsepower. The one I was in was a 430. So I can only assume that the Tesco ones are slightly worse. Now, obviously, I haven't driven the smaller one with the 450, the same one as this, but with a smaller cab. That's probably exactly the same as this, which means it's fine. But, I was in it yesterday, I was like, come on. Why are you changing gear going uphill at about 6 miles an hour? Why are you doing that? I think at one point I was doing a glorious 12 miles an hour and decided to change into fourth. I'm like, we're not going fast enough on this hill. Why are you doing that? It was annoying. But there we go. That's to Mercedes. Well, trucks anyway. Just don't knacker these vehicles. The Actros is a really, really good vehicle. Well, to me personally, it really is. But why? Anyway, I'm going to finish the rest of my break and then fill in some paperwork after my break. Then go around, find the trailer I've got to take that back to the yard. What I will most likely do is, if it's light enough, I will end my day on the drive home. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to play about with a few things, because my channel might end up being the drive to work, the drive home, maybe something on my break. I don't know. But that's most likely what my channel's could potentially end up being. So, like I said, I'm going to play about a little bit and end my day on my drive home in my car. So, the cradle for the forward facing, I'm actually not going to use the forward facing anymore today, so the cradle for the forward facing, yeah, sort of, is very flimsy. It's got the screw bit in there, but that's loose, so I do need to order another one. But the one in there fell out. It broke it. Although the camera probably hasn't picked that up, but whatever. It's got a golden metal thread in there, and then there's nothing in that one. So I need to order myself another one, so there won't be any forward-facing footage in my car at the moment. I mean, ordering one of these is pretty simple. I could go on Amazon on here in a minute and do it then. But like I said, I'm going to toy about. I'm going to end my day when I'm in my car driving home, because by the time I get back, it's still going to be light. I mean, by the time I'm going, there's still going to be enough light for me to do this. So I shall give that a crack, see how that comes out, see what you think about it, and yes, I shall see you in a minute. Well, that's the end of the day. I got my aircon going because it was raining quite heavily. I got a bit wet, and you know what happens when you get into a car and you're wet, everything goes steams up like Billy-O. But yes, that was my day. It was relatively easy. There was an issue. The reason that it's a lot darker than I was hoping it was going to be is because the trailer I picked up had a puncture. I seem to have had a few of those recently. So yeah, I had to get another trailer. So it took a little while longer than I was expecting, and as you can probably tell, the light is starting to fail. So that was always wonderful. Now I've got my aircon going, like I said, because of the steam, although I've just turned it off there. Oh, hello. But yes, that was my day, so it was all lovely-jubbly. Now, please be aware from the last one, where I said if you mention the company that I'm rolling for, the comment will be removed, and so will you. If we have conversed on a few occasions, if you are a sub, if you are known to me, then there is a very strong chance that you have what I refer to as seniority. Ergo, I will remove your comment, but not you. I was just trying to round the point home for people who might want to try to make my life difficult. You know, if they're going to come along and troll me by saying, no, it's so and so, you know, that kind of way of doing it, then yeah, I'm going to just remove their comment and get rid of them, just block them. Because as I know that a lot of my early videos have been removed, and within my early videos was my channel's rules, so I need to recreate that. The basic principle is that if I deem you to be a troll, I shall remove your comments, and I shall solve the problem. If you don't like me, I will help you. I will remove you from my channel. You'll never have to see me again. Now I know there's probably a bit of a funny angle at the moment, but the mount I've got, the windshield in this car is that. It's a horrible angle, and I've got to try and get a stand that works. I've got a couple of ideas, but the thing is, if I extend the arm I've got, the camera hits the windshield. So I've got to kind of keep it folded against the suction cup, and of course the camera's hitting the suction cup, and I've got to keep it slightly away from the suction cup, otherwise every time I hit a bump you're going to hear the tap 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 of the camera against the suction now. So you're at a bit of a funny angle, so apologies for that one, but I shall see what I can do. Like I said, at the moment I am sodding about with trying to determine how I'm going to do this, because obviously there is a strong possibility that the vast majority of my vlogs now will be me driving to work and driving home from work, just to kind of keep the peace. But like I said, if you accidentally, during a conversation go, oh, I know such and such a place, then okay, you're not doing that to get me in trouble. You just know the place. You've been to that place, you know where I am, you just said it without thinking. I mean, you're driving for a company that says its name all day long. You speak to other drivers about this place all day long. I'm another driver that goes to this place. You're just speaking to me saying, oh yeah, I know Joe Blogs. Okay, fair enough. That you're not trying to troll me. You're not trying to get me into trouble. You just let it slip. In that situation, it's a case of I'll just remove the comment and say, yeah, no worries, mate, but can you refer to it as that site? I won't just block you. I just needed to ram the message home for anybody that might want to land me in a bit of shtuck. You see, the reason for that, and we're about to go dark in a minute because I'm about to go waddling. Let me just set that lovely up. I'm about to go into a tunnel. But the reason that I said it the way I said it is because I'm quite careful with how I do my channel. Excuse me. And the way search engines work, because most large companies do have people employed to search, in this day and age, to search social media and YouTube, things like that, for company mentions. Now the only way the search engine can figure that one out, because they're not that advanced yet, is if the company is mentioned in the description, the comments section, or the title. Now, the company I roll for has never been written into the description. It has never been written into the title. And as far as I'm aware, nobody has ever actually mentioned it in the comment section. So it begs the question of, did somebody work out who I was driving for and inform them? Trying, maybe they don't like me, maybe they think what I'm saying paints them in a bad picture, maybe they just think I'm an idiot, I don't know. And they're just trying to get rid of me. Well, the simple fact is, YouTube, you're not getting rid of me. You might succeed in getting rid of my helpful channel for new drivers, but you won't get rid of me. I will continue to make stuff in my own time. For example, at the moment, look, I'm driving home in my car, in my time. So even if I am carpet banned from making, you know, trucking-based material whilst I'm at work, I'm in my own bloody car at the minute. So I'm here to stay. But I just needed to make sure, on the off chance that my channel wasn't stumbled upon, it was, you know, they were prodded in the correct direction. That if somebody mentions the company, oh, it's never there, you're gone. However, if you're just going, oh yeah, I know that Joe Blogg's place just up the way, yeah, I'll go there all the time for blah, 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 blah. You're not trolling me, you're not trying to get me into trouble, you just said it without thinking, so you're fine. This one is going out to Kevin Diag, who said, oh well, I'll unsubscribe because I don't want to be blocked, and I wish you the best of luck. You don't have to unsubscribe. I'm not going to block you if I know you, as in, you know, we've conversed on a few occasions. You have seniority. So please understand, I am kind of fair in what I do. Now, I do have a little bit of OCD, and I'm looking at that camera, you know, every so often I'm looking at the camera, and I'm thinking, oh, he's at that angle, oh, he's driving me insane. So I'm going to have to get myself a mount specifically for the inside of this car. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to fathom something out. I'll figure it out, whatever. So that looks like I'm going to spend a bit more money. I might actually get myself another mount and another camera specifically for this car. But that's just to save time at the end of my day, because I've got to get all my kit back out my bag, to get my cameras out, to go and set them up, to then set them up, to blah, 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 blah. And it's the end of my day. I just want to go home. I just want to have a beer. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do, bruv. I want to have a bevy. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? But no, like I said, if I've conversed with you for a while and you're worried that I'm just going to block you, trust me, I won't. I'll remove your comment, and I might, you know, send you a message on YouTube saying, look, you just use the site or that site, or, you know, the powers that be, the company, not the actual name. It's fine. But the reason I said it the way I said it in the last one was because I wanted to ram that point home. Because as you know, as some of you know from my rules, if I can spot you're a troll, and I'm very good at spotting trolls because in the gaming world in my younger years I was one. I know exactly how trolls work. I was that nasty little piece of work in Battlefield 2 and things like that would sit under the stairs having set C4 up, blow you and all your mates up, then set C4 up in a slightly different location, strategically knowing where you're coming to, and blow you all up again. You know, I was that, but I used to love getting the reaction. So I can spot a troll a mile away. I know the people that subscribe to me and I chat to on virtually every video are not trolls. I know that you're human, you make the odd mistake. I know exactly what a troll is. So those ones, you know, you're removed, you're blocked, you're gone, you're done, see you later, no worries. And the thing with trolls is they don't like being blocked, because it means they can't troll you. It means you win, they lose. It's the one thing they hate. I actually used to create other accounts just to get back in and do it again. So it's a case of they will do everything. They will lie in the background. They will see things going on, and then they will go, ah, I can get him, and they'll be faceless, they'll be gutless, you know, they'll grass you up if they know they can, or how to, but they won't say anything unless they think they can get away with it. And on my channel, if you've seen my roles, you won't. You'll get removed, your comments will get removed, you'll get blocked. But if you're somebody I speak to, I know you're not a troll. So you'll just get the seniority treatment, you'll get the respect, you'll get the, look, I know you didn't mean to say it, I've remove the comment. I bear you no ill will. But please understand, can you just say the site, that site, the company, whatever. So there we go. I wanted to clear that up. But anyway, I've dragged this on too long, as per bloody normal. I waffle quite a large amount. I shall no doubt see you in the next one, whenever that may be. Hopefully Tuesday, although time will tell. Ah, yeah, there's a bit of lightning going on here. Resume. There we go. No, resume. There we go. So like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. And I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.